Praise be Jesus Christ on this Saturday of Easter week. Saturday's gospel on this Easter week is one from the Gospel of Mark, who has the fewest stories about the resurrection. In fact, the version that I'm going to read to you is the original ending. Other endings were added because it seemed that this ending was incomplete. You'll see why. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, and Salome, bought perfumed oils with them, and they intended to go and anoint Jesus. Very early, just after sunrise, on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb. They were saying to one another, "Who will roll back the stone for us from the entrance of the tomb?" When they looked, they found that the stone had been rolled back. It was a huge stone. On entering the tomb, they saw a young man sitting at the right, dressed in a white robe. This frightened them thoroughly, but he reassured them, "You need not be amazed. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth, the one who was crucified. He has been raised up. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. Go now and tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you to Galilee, where you will see him just as he told you." They made their way out and fled from the tomb, bewildered and trembling. And because of their great fear, they said nothing to anyone. The Gospel of the Lord. This gospel ending of Mark is one of the most interesting to scholars in asking what was the intention of Mark by leaving this gospel so open-ended that they didn't go and tell the apostles. It doesn't say they proclaimed the resurrection. It gives no stories of Jesus revealing himself. It just says these women were bewildered and trembling and suffered great fear, and they didn't tell anyone. That's hardly a message for evangelization. I will invite you to take your Gospel of Mark and read the further endings that have been added later, and we can perhaps come back to resolving this issue of just why Mark ended where he did. It's Saturday, it's a weekend, and we will be celebrating Mass tomorrow at St. John's. It'll be live on Facebook. And I'm grateful for those who participate in helping it become real for us. A couple practical points. A few weeks ago I mentioned that because of the coronavirus and the great suffering that it has caused, there is a great need for food. Now we might think, well, the need is not great here in the Altoona area, but believe me, I've heard from food banks who count on our groceries being delivered monthly, and I wonder whether we might be able to be more proactive in each week now during the time that we are in the coronavirus, every week being a second Sunday for food collection. Just to show you, we do have some people that have brought some groceries. You recognize these, they're always in the back of the church. When we had a great collection on Palm Sunday, we had a great number of baskets and bags of groceries. So we appreciate your generosity, and you can drop them here behind the rectory in the carport. I would also remind you that in the carport there is the box to drop your envelopes. First, I want to say how much I appreciate those who are mailing them to us, or those who have dropped them in the envelope box. This is a challenging time, and I know certainly there are parishioners who have lost their job because of this, or at least unemployed for now. And but your generosity in supporting the parish is always to be appreciated. There is so much that we want to accomplish in union with the diocese and that Catholic Ministries Drive. If you've not yet made your pledge to that, it provides campus ministry, it provides Catholic social services, and in these challenging times the needs are great. So your generosity is deeply appreciated. And finally, I want to encourage your prayer. I mentioned a few days ago about the importance of the Rosary. If you will go on the parish website and go to Faith Formation, you will see places where I've encouraged a scriptural rosary. If there's anything we want to do during this time of the virus and when we're locked in our homes, it's to keep our attention fixed upon Christ. And nothing allows us to do that more than reflecting upon the mysteries of the Rosary, the joyful mysteries, the sorrowful mysteries, the luminous mysteries, the glorious mysteries. To pray the Rosary is to enter into the life of Jesus, all those important moments in his life. You will see a couple website links that will give you some additional help in praying a scriptural rosary, where you read verses that relate to the mystery itself. This is a wonderful thing to do for your children and for yourselves as you pray your way through this pandemic. So this Sunday, of course, is Divine Mercy Sunday, and we beg the Lord's mercy to be upon our world. We are one with Pope Francis in his prayer for healing and for a banishment of the darkness brought about by this disease. But if the Lord is risen, we know that. Death has been conquered. And so we go forth to divine mercy, trusting always that divine mercy will have the last word. May God bless you and your family.